On the Mitch Ridge Show, issues are highlighted. Dr. Michelle E. is changing lives, yeah. On the Mitch Ridge Show.
A real queen knows that nobody else can fit her crown. A queen is someone who is empathetic and puts themselves in others' shoes to be able to relate and help others through their struggles. She knows her value, is secure, and doesn't conform to what others think of her. A queen is willing to take advice from others because she knows that she does not know it all. In today's episode of The Mistress Show, we'll be queening with Pastor Delarice and her twin sister, Pastor Delphi. And we're going to talk, just have a conversation about queening and what it means to be a queen. They are actually involved in pageants, but today it's not about the pageants really, although I'm wearing my little tiara. It's more about us talking about the queen within, unlocking the queen within. And I'm sure Pastor Delphi can tell us a little bit more about that. So we'll be right back after the break on The Mistress Show. I'm Dr. Michelle E., your host.
Welcome to Top Physical Therapy. Our patients' safety is a top priority. So we abide by the procedures of the pandemic. Here we provide occupational physical therapy and any trauma you face due to car accidents or any other physical issues. Come to Top Physical Therapy to receive treatment that is long overdue. We're located at 6730 North University Drive, Tamarack, Florida, 33321, southeast corner of University and McNabb. Call today at 954-722-2212 to schedule your appointment. We've got you covered.
On the Mitch Ridge Show.
Well, welcome back to The Mistress Show, and I'm Dr. Michelle E., your host. And today we'll be talking with none other than Pastor Delphi and her twin sister, Prophetess Delarice. And they're queens in their own right, not just because they've won pageants before, but because they take time in making sure that other women, other ladies understand that they're queens themselves and the queen within. So Pastor Delphi is the first person that we're going to be talking to. Pastor Delphi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the fact that a queen is not just because you're looking well on the outside, but a queen is more about what's on the inside. And then we're going to move on right into Prophetess Delarice.
Well, I'm always blessed and just, honored when given the opportunity to just talk about, the Queen Within. I have a women's ministry. The name of the women's ministry is Unlocking the Queen Within. And God gave me that name years ago, just because there's such a need for so many women like myself that has gone through so much. And because of the things that I had experienced, because of the things that I had gone through, it caused me to be in a low place and caused me to feel, less than I was. And I wasn't able to even see myself as who God saw me as, which is a daughter of the King. And through my journey of reading and being before God, he started talking to me about unlocking the queen within me. And I began to see that, being beautiful and looking nice and all these amazing things, because I love to look nice. Every woman loves to look nice. But it's more than that makes you a queen. It's your heart, the way you serve, the way you love and the care for others. One of the things I feel like most that makes a woman a queen is her ability to sacrifice for others. Even in the story of Esther, we see that a lot of people think about the fact that she married the king and all these, amazing things, that she was chosen and the favor of God was on her life. But to me, when I read that story, what really made Esther queen, and the reason that God made her queen, was because he knew that she would be the one that would be willing to sacrifice, even if it cost her life, to save his people. And that's what really makes us a queen. It's not about being born in a wealthy family, or having all this money. Sometimes queens are made. We aren't born. It's our life struggles and what we experience in our lives that makes us carry the grace of a queen. So to me, that's what I feel a queen is, and even what I practice and I preach and teach in unlocking the queen within, that it's not how beautiful you are and how much money you have. It's your heart, your servitude, and your sacrifice that makes you a queen.
Awesome, and that's so important that we understand that as women, that it's not because I have blonde hair now and not the purple that makes me a queen. So let's move over to Prophetess Delarice, who I know she has her own meaning of what a queen really means to her. Prophetess Delarice.
Yes. First, thank you so much for having me. I feel blessed and honored to be able to share what I think the meaning of a queen is. I also have a women's ministry. It's called P31 Queens of Success. And P31 does stand for Proverbs 31, wife, woman, queens of success. What I do in my ministry is I help women unlock their full potential as wives, as business women. I think that a lot of times we get focused on just being wives at times, and we don't understand sometimes that there's so many other things that God has called us for outside of just being wonderful wives. We were created to pour into other people and nurture people. That nurturing side of us, we're always giving, raising, and training those around us. If we do um, take heed to the voice of God. At least I believe that's what women should be doing, picking up those behind us, taking them underneath our wings, and making sure that they know that regardless of where they came from, because when we think about Esther, Pastor Delphi mentioned Esther. I think a lot of people don't realize that Esther was an orphan. For some people, they know her as queen, but they don't know that her background was that she was an orphan. And a lot of people struggle with that orphan spirit where they don't fit in anywhere or they feel that they don't belong. So I always pride myself in making sure women know, regardless of where they came from, whether they graduated high school, college, whether they are working in a fast food restaurant, they are still queens. Because if God could take Esther, who was an orphan, and give her a life that would line her up to be in position to be queen, then he could do it for any one of us. And as Pastor Delphi said, it's not just about the crown, it's about the grace that we carry as women that makes us queen, I believe. And also, it's about being able to not only survive situations, but thrive after it. And that is something that I'm big on, making sure people know, regardless of where you came from, you don't just have to survive. You can actually thrive after a bad relationship, after losing your job or losing your family or even your mind. You can still come back and thrive. And that's what I think really being a queen is all about.
Resilience. Resilience is important.
Yes, yes, it's very important.
All right, so Pastor. Well, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna say Queen Delpha and Queen Delarice. So Queen Delpha, you just wrote a book. Tell us a little bit about your book and how we as women can benefit from the book that you wrote.
Well, the name of my book is Queen Arise. Queen Arise. God gave this book to me actually years ago. I had gone through a very bad divorce. A lot of people don't even know that about me, that I was divorced, and my life basically. It was like it was over. I'm a woman of God, and I don't believe in divorce. And I was put in a situation where the man that I was with decided that he wanted to be with somebody else, and you know I had to live with that. And I lost myself, lost my way, and I began to write. Write and read the story of Esther. I was writing and reading the story of Esther. Every morning I was taking time and I was just going before God in prayer and devotion. And this book was birthed through that, because I feel like I was in a very low place, in a pit like experience. And I not only did I rise, but I arose from it as a queen, through the time of reading the story of Esther, through the time of my time in meditation and prayer before God. So the book is it's a 15-day devotional, just with prayers and affirmations and scriptures, and most of the scriptures are from the story in the book of Esther. And through this 15-day journey, I really believe that it will unlock the queen in every woman, because there is a queen in every one of us. We might come from different backgrounds, we may have different stories, different beginnings, different endings, but there's a queen in each and every one of us. And I feel like that queen will be unlocked through any woman that reads this book.
Wow. So there's life after divorce, because I'm actually going through mine right now. So,
Yes.
we have so many stories as resilient women to talk about and to
Mm-hmm.
tell and to
Yes.
empower others. So Delarice, you have won pageants, and tell us a little bit about like the pageants that you have won and how they've helped you in even, just empowering other women.
I've been competing in pageantry for years from I was a little girl. And one thing I learned and love about pageantry is the fact that it really does build the self-esteem of women. It teaches you how to speak in front of others, so it's great for public speaking. It also has helped me be able to carry myself in a manner where I'm always taken serious. And I know that sometimes we as women have hard days and we may not feel like getting up and doing our hair and doing makeup, and that's fine. But I think that every woman should always be presentable, especially if you're going to take on that queen name. It is important that we carry ourselves in a manner where we're always presentable. So no, you don't always have to be glammed to the max or looking as if you're ready to step on the runway, but you should be presentable as a woman. So pageantry has done that for me. And not only that, it has also opened the door for many modeling opportunities. I got my first modeling contract through pageantry. My sister and I also were able to promote our platform. We do have an organization that focuses on raising awareness to all the dangers of texting while driving. As many people know, we did lose a brother to a texting while driving accident. And since then, it has been our biggest goal to literally take that all over the United States and hopefully one day all over the world. And through pageantry, we've been able to set foot on major platforms in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
Tennessee, all over the world. We've been able to share our brother's story. And not only that, it has opened the door for us to connect with the state representatives. And we went to the Capitol with our titles. And we were able to bring change to the state of Florida, who was so far behind for all these years as it pertained to texting while driving laws. So pageantry has done more than give us glamorous lives. It has allowed us to be a voice for the voiceless. It's allowed us to be women of honor, women that people respect. So whenever people ask me about my experience as a pageant girl, I'm always proud to give people a bigger picture as it pertains to what pageantry really is. It's not just about the beautiful crown and sash. It's about being a voice for those that cannot speak up for themselves. It's about being a movement, and more than anything, about a message, having a real message. So if any woman is watching now and wondering, should I put my daughter in pageantry, or should I, as an adult, compete in a Mrs. pageant? My answer is always yes, as pageantry really does open the door for many things.
Amen.
Awesome. So it's not just about looking beautiful, but it's also using the platform to benefit a cause,
Yes,
and that is so important.
yes.
As we close, Queen Delphi, what would you say to a woman who's out there that is struggling with, just how she looks, how she feels, and her next move into understanding the queen within?
Um, One thing I always share with people is that, after I had gone through everything I went through, I was in the place of the unknown. And the unknown to some is a very scary place. But the unknown with God is one of the best places that you can be in the world, because you have the opportunity to rebuild yourself and rebuild
Mhm.
yourself in God's image and the way that God wants you and has designed for you. I believe that we all have an image. We all have our own individual, unique style. We don't have to be what everyone else is and how everyone else looks, but we have to be comfortable in the skin that God has given us. And with that, that will create your own identity. That will create, your look, who you are when people see you, the way you step out, the colors that you wear, all those things. I feel like come into play when you become your authentic self and who God has created you to be. Um, don't be afraid to be you, because nobody can beat you being yourself. I feel like sometimes we master. I know for me, for myself, before I went through a divorce, I had mastered be faking and being somebody that I wasn't. One of the greatest things that I can say that I accomplished in my life at this season is being comfortable with being me, being exactly who God called and created me to be. And there's no way that you can mess that up, woman of God that's watching, that's listening. There's no way that you can mess up being the authentic person that God has created you to be. If you stretch and press and persevere to find that, to be that, everything else will fall in place. Everything else will line up. And that means authentically you in your career, authentically you in your ministry, authentically you in your image. There's no way you can mess that up. And that's that way you basically be in the perfect will of God for your life.
Oh, awesome. Queen Delarice, as we close, your last words.
My last words is to those, well, for those women, of course, that feel that God has not called them, or feel that they don't have a call that is meaningful. I always tell women that regardless of what God called you to do, if He anointed you for it, you're going to take that call and you're going to maximize it. You're going to supersede the expectations of yourself and everybody around you. And also take the limits off of your life in every area, whether it be motherhood or career wise. Take off the limits in ministry, take the limits off in your relationship with God. Because what I've learned is a lot of times we limit ourselves, and there's so much more that we can do. I'm learning even now, as I'm someone that, is pregnant, I'm having a child. I'm learning now that I even have been able to take the limits off in pregnancy, as I've been able to still continue mentoring and ministering and doing all the things that a lot of people would say you can't do as a pregnant woman. So I'm saying all this to say, whatever is in your heart and your spirit, regardless of where you are in life, if God anointed you for it, He's going to allow you to literally go the distance, and not just go the distance, but as I said, to thrive, because it's not about surviving in this season. It's about thriving, even in this pandemic.
And you
Amen.
know, it's so much that as women we go through,
Hmm.
and we're gonna take a break right now. Are you a kind, caring, and committed person? If you are, here at Linden Nursing Services, we're seeking home health aides, CNAs, LPNs, and RNs. Come and join our team of professional caregivers today. Not only are we the best in the business, but we deliver services of the highest quality. Give us a call today. We are waiting to hear from you. 561-434-5005, or visit us on our web at lindennursing.com.
On the Mitch Rich Show.
Well, welcome back to the Mitch Rich Show. And, I'm so grateful to have had Pastor Delphi and Pastor Delarice. But today, as I said, they're Queen Delarice and Queen Delphi. And I'm Queen Michelle, no Dr. Michelle E for this one. And, as they say, the queen is not on the outside, the queen is the person that you are from within. Thank you so much, Queen Delphi. Thank you so much, Queen Delarice, for being here on the Mitch Rich Show today. It was an honor to have you here on the show.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
having
much
us.
for having us.
Our second guest is Dr. Fayola Delika, and she's a queen ordained by God to birth out other queens. Dr. Delika is on a mission to empower women to walk into their royal purpose, and she does that by the passion and purpose that God has given her. So today, we just want to talk a little bit more about the queen within, because we know the queen is not about what you look like on the outside, is what you are from within. Dr. Fayola, how are you doing today?
Greetings, good afternoon. I'm honored and delighted to be with you today, and thank you for this opportunity.
Wearing the crown that you're a queen, or it's because of what's going on the inside?
Well, definitely a true queen is someone that does the internal work. They know their value, they know their purpose, they know why God has brought them onto the earth. Because to truly be a queen and a royal queen and be able to walk into your royal purpose is first finding what is your purpose on the earth. And so for a woman to do so is really spending time with God, knowing the gifts and talents that God has placed on the inside of them, definitely knowing their divine purpose on the earth and what their assignment is. And once they're able to dominate and overcome the challenges from within, then they can truly exuberate the love, the beauty that they have on the inside to be able to expose themselves on the outside. And it's all about not only overcoming your challenges personally, but being a woman who can excel and be an example for other women to overcome by helping them to realize no matter what obstacles you've been through, that you're able to overcome them. No matter what challenges in life, they were there to make you stronger, to know your inner strength and definitely your inner beauty.
You're wearing a crown today because you're actually a reigning queen. You're a reigning queen for which pageant?
Yes, I am your Miss International Excellence 2021-2022, and it's through the pageant system of Crowning Excellence by Dr. Raphael Galigo. I've been doing pageantry since 2016. It's definitely been a part of my ministry, and it's an opportunity to inspire and empower women, young and old, black and white, rich or poor, to know that, it's not really about the sash and crown. That's just a platform, an opportunity to expose my platform on a bigger scale. It's truly about me, the person, the gifts that God has allowed me, as my pageantry platform is Empowerment 360, as I am the founder and executive director of the 360 Evolution Academy, which is a holistic etiquette school for youth between the ages of 11 and 17. And we've been established since 2014 here in South Florida.
Awesome. So, so you're using your platform as a queen, as a reigning queen, to embrace, the God-given talents that the Lord has given you, and also to empower others. So, just explain and expound a little bit on what it is that you actually do for the youth, because that is so important, because they're the future.
Well, I started to do volunteer work with youth since I was a child myself. But it was at the time when I just moved back to South Florida and I was trying to figure out what my next move, what God was going to allow me to do in that season. And for about 3 years, I volunteered with Junior Achievement South Florida. And I was teaching financial literacy and entrepreneurship. And when I realized the challenges that some of the youth were having, it was an opportunity for me to be able to fill that gap through my nonprofit. So it's an etiquette school. We teach life skills and personal and character development. We do courses on finances, mental and emotional health, spiritual health and purity, public speaking, leadership, educational, professional goal setting. We provide scholarships. We provide capital seed for youth to start their own businesses or to help maintain their businesses. So it's an opportunity to help kids understand, no matter where you come from, what background you have, is that anything is possible and you can reach your goals and dreams. You know, whether you come from the inner city, whether you come from a single family home, it's really providing them the right skill sets to be successful in life, because they have it in them regardless of those challenges. Those challenges are there to help them to know who they really are.
Awesome. Your testimonies range from, when I read your bio, it's so much going on. And, it's the word of God tells us that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So what would you say that being a reigning queen, because as you say, it's not about the sash and the crown, it's also about what you've been through, where you're going, where you are today. How has it helped you to be the queen within that you say that you are?
You know, I've come to learn that obstacles and challenges are really stepping stones to your greatness. When I was homeless, it was a hard thing to swallow because I couldn't understand how I got to that place. You know, being well educated, coming from a good family, and losing everything in 2000, and during the economic crash of 2008, I really began to understand that I was not defined by the big house that I had, the car that I was driving, or the materialistic things that we define success. I had to understand that I was my value, I was my worth. And by doing so, it helped me to realize that I can help other people to overcome their challenges, and understanding that it's your perspective. You know, you can look at hardship as a negative thing, or you can look at it as a positive thing. You know, of course, I wouldn't wish some of my experiences on my worst enemy, but it really helped me to understand, one, who my God really is and that I am truly loved. Two, it helped me to understand my inner strength. And three, as Kurt Franklin stated one time, that your purpose is in your pain. And I didn't understand that until later on in life. And that my purpose, my pain has not only produced my purpose, but it's produced my ministry, it's produced my businesses, my nonprofits, because all that is surrounded around helping people to overcome challenges and to live their best life now.
Awesome. So, in the process of you moving from homelessness to now being an educator, being a reigning queen, being an apostle, being, and the list goes on of being, how did that time of homelessness really help you to formulate where you are right now?
You know, it really helped me to understand, as I stated before, I'm not defined by my materialistic things. You know, when I was trying to regain my dignity, my respect, my identity, I could not walk around with my resume. I could not walk around with my bio of all the accomplishments I even had before I became homeless. But it helped me to change my perspective and understand that I had to die to myself. I had to die to my emotions. I had to die to my motives. I had to die to my drive. I'm very ambitious and a driven person, but it was not directed in a path that God wanted it to be. It was understanding that everything that I was going to get was because it was directed to my assignment, my kingdom assignment. You know, I'm a kingdom builder. I'm a child of God. I look from a kingdom perspective, not as a church goer or as a believer, because those people have different perspectives. And once I began to understand that that was a process God was taking me, so me to die to flesh, just like Abraham. You know, in the Bible, Abraham was told to leave his home, leave everything he knew, to go to a place he didn't even know where he was going. So I had a similar process. And in that process, God was training me for the greatness. God was prepping me for the life that was to come. So, you know, in ministry, you know, you have to learn not to be in your feelings. You know, there's times in my old self, I would cut people off if they got me upset. But as a minister and as an apostle, I had to understand that I look past the person and identify what is their issue. You know, is it a spirit? Is it challenges that they need to overcome? So it really helps in my maturity level that now I am a true reflection of who God is. When people see me, they're going to see God. They're not going to see Fayola. You know, when people see me, they're going to see Jesus Christ. They're not going to see the experiences that I've been through or the challenges that I've been through. So it's an understanding that all that we go through in life is to produce, it's just like the fiery furnace. We go through that process. A diamond is a dirty rock in the beginning, but once it goes through the furnace where the fire burns out the impurities, you see the beauty of it. And that's why I sit before you today as a queen, a royal queen, a reigning queen, and a queen who's on a mission to help other people to understand their true value and self-worth.
Awesome. As we close, we have 1 more minute before closing. What would you say to a woman who is struggling with her identity, with who she is, who she should be, where she should go?
You know, that particular woman, I want to say this to you. I was you. I was you from a child who was 5 years old when I first was molested. I was you when I had to experience a lot of hardships in life. And I used to ask myself, maybe God does not love me. Maybe, I'm a mistake because I couldn't understand why I was going through those challenges. So I want to help you to understand you're not alone in this journey called life. You're not the only one that have experienced what you've experienced, but to know that you are strong. You are well equipped for the challenges and the obstacles. You are an overcomer. That's what the word of God says. You are victorious. And to know that what can't kill you would definitely make you stronger, but it's all about finding who you really are. And I will tell you, challenges will get you on your knees. Challenges will help you to get deeper and closer to God. And once you do, your identity comes from Him. It doesn't come from man. It doesn't come from your accomplishments or your human capacity. It comes from a spiritual place, a place of finding out, to asking God in that place, what is my purpose? What are the gifts and talents that you place in the inside of me? Because I want to be like the late Dr. Miles Monroe. I am emptying out everything that God has placed in the inside of me to make a difference in the world. Because the richest place in the world, unfortunately, is not the big mansions. It's not where the millionaires and billionaires live, but it's in the cemeteries. Because many people have died with their gifts and talents. So I want to let you know you are a queen. Stand in your royal position and know your royal purpose.
What better way to end the Queen Within with none other than Dr. Fiola Delika today on the Mitch Rich Show. It was a pleasure to have you. Our guests today were none other than Queen Delphi, Queen Delarice, and there we have it from Queen Fiola Delika. So we just want to thank you. In closing, in every woman, there is a queen. In the words of Oprah Winfrey, and I quote, think like a queen and never be afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness. Thank you for joining us today on The Mitch Rich Show. I am Queen Michelle E. today. I'm Queen Michelle E., your host for the most. Just follow us on all our social media handles. We just thank you so much for being here and know that you are a queen. And your queen is not what you look like on the outside. Your queen is who you are from the inside. Thank you. Here on the Mitch Rich Show, all we do is we highlight issues and change lives. Thank you so much.